On this episode, the spotlight is on Amateur Night and the rich history of the Apollo Theater.
The Apollo Theater is unlike any space in New York.
When you come to the Apollo, you see greatness, you see a legendary theater, you see old, young, black, white, you see children, you see joy, you see booing, you see cheering.
For nearly a century, the Apollo has been a constant presence. Located in the heart of Harlem on 125th Street, the 1,500-seat theater has played host to names that will make anyone stop and take notice.
When I come into this building, I see Sammy Davis, I see Ella Fitzgerald, I see the Jackson 5, and I hear Pig Meat Markham.
Once a burlesque hall catering to white-only audiences, the theater has evolved to become a space synonymous with black entertainment. It's a space that has hosted both the greatest artists of all time and artists of the future.
Amateur Night at the Apollo, first, is the longest running talent competition in America.
I like to refer to it as brutally honest.
Now, the 89-year-old theater is changing once again.
The historic theater will be renovated in the upcoming years as well for the first time. What you can count on is that you'll still receive the same quality of art that is going to be on all the stages.
I'm CP Lacey, the executioner here at the world-famous Apollo Theater. The siren goes off. James Brown enters the stage in his royal blue, as James Brown always does. I feel good, and you don't sound good. Hey, get out of here. I've been doing this job for, I'd say about 36 years, 37 years, counting this one. I won here doing my James Brown routine about 7 times. I won first place. At Amateur Night, the executioner/Sandman role is very important because it separates us from the other, variety shows, contest shows, which are the grandparents of the Apollo as we celebrate 89 years of this. Sandman Sims, my predecessor, was away doing a movie with Gregory Hines called Taps. And Mr. Ralph Cooper, the creator of Amateur Night, said, "Hey CP, I like your fancy footwork. You want to fill in for Sandman Sims for a week or two?" I said, yes. He said, "Can you tap?" Never took a tap lesson in my life. I said, yes, I can tap. He said, "You got the job." That 2 weeks turned into 37 years. I'm still here.
CP's role as an executioner has morphed from mimicking Sandman Sims to posing as previous performers at Amateur Night.
When the 2000s hit, Marion Caffey, the producer of Amateur Night, took a new turn and let me do my celebrity characters. Anyone who's graced the Apollo stage, I kick you off now as that character. Hence James Brown, Sammy Davis Jr., Snoop Dogg, Flavor Flav, Johnny Mathis, whoever has been on this stage, I gonged them. Who can make the crowd boo? You, man, get out of here, shaboing. What happens is, the siren goes off, but they're so busy singing, they don't even hear it. People are afraid of him because they don't want to see him, but he's not scary as he is intimidating. You're singing your song, then I come up behind you, the band stops playing your song. That's scary enough as it is. I don't have to scare them.
The sign of the Apollo is as iconic as the legendary performers who have graced its stage.
When you walk down 125th Street, you'll see the Apollo Blade sign sticking right out, APOLLO. It's all in red, and that's the first thing that captures your vision. I started running errands here in 1965 when I was 15 years old. Basically, it was R&B and jazz, I've seen it evolve into the hip-hop generation and neoclassical. I've seen it evolve into heavy metal artists performing here, the Taylor Swifts, the Paul McCartneys, the Bruce Springsteens. Every performer that's worth their salt wants to play the Apollo Theater.
Billy Mitchell, or as the children of Harlem would call him, Mr. Apollo, has witnessed the evolution of the theater and how it's become the historic space it is today.
I've been giving service to the Apollo Theater off and on for 58 years. What keeps me here at the Apollo Theater? I love our culture. I love Harlem. My mother was born in Harlem in 1923 in the original Harlem Hospital. I was born and raised in Mount Vernon. I grew up in the Bronx.
Dating back to post-World Wars and the Great Depression, the Apollo Theater has served as a beacon for the community of Harlem.
Harlem is in who I am. Harlem is the African-American capital of the world. Every black community in the world looks towards Harlem for leadership, for fashion, for activism, for what we do, for culture. So that's what keeps me here.
The theater opened its doors back in 1914.
The building, which is presently called the Apollo Theater, was originally a segregated burlesque house known as Hurtick and Seaman's New Burlesque Theater. African Americans weren't allowed to come inside this building to sit down and see shows. We weren't allowed to perform on the stage. We weren't allowed to work here. African Americans weren't allowed to come into any theater back then.
Fast forward to 1932 and Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia banned all burlesque theaters in New York City due to, quote, immoral behavior. The theater closed down, but in 1934, businessmen Frank Schiffman, Leo Brecker, and Sidney Cohens purchased and reopened the building, renaming it 125th Street Apollo Theater. Competing with Midtown theaters, they kept their ticket prices low and started showing more skin on stage.
When these gentlemen purchased the Hurtick and Seaman's and opened it as the 125th Street Apollo, that's when African Americans were allowed to come inside and sit with our white brothers and sisters, see shows, work here, and perform. The name Apollo comes from the Greek god Apollo, the Greek god that represents the sun and music and entertainment and poetry and good messages of prophecy. And that's what the new owners wanted to bring to this theater in 1934, and that's why they named it the Apollo Theater. Some theaters may just do jazz, some theaters may just do country western music, some may just do heavy metal or rock. The Apollo encompasses all of those art forms, and everybody is allowed to come to the party.
Oh, I think everybody know about the Apollo from the old days when we used to see amateur night, so that's why we're here.
I'm here every Wednesday, first online all the time, and it's so fun.
Watching Apollo for years, growing up, so definitely wanted to have the experience.
When you come in through those doors, you're coming in to enjoy yourself, but you're also bringing a power with you as an audience member.
Boom!
Oh, booing?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's the fun part.
We can't boo in our regular life for things that we don't like, right? So this way you get to boo and people don't know who's booing.
You can tell them that maybe not this week, brother. It's go get some more work done and come back and see us in a couple of months. When I come into this theater daily and weekly, my job is to not screw this up. This has been going on for 89 years, and I don't want it to close on my watch. How do you keep it relevant in 2023 and hold on to the heart and spirit of 1934?
Marion Caffey has worked for 14 years as the producer of Amateur Night at the Apollo. He casts online and live auditions, followed by weekly rehearsals for the contestants, band members, and CP Lacey to prepare for the show.
You want to make sure that you have young kids and older people, and you have all races, creeds, and colors on stage, but really talented. Always trying to find that next star, find that next beacon of light.
Coming up next.
Now imagine this, the first young lady to come out on the stage and win the contest and went on to become a legend was none other than Ella Fitzgerald.
the things that life just...
Thousands of hopeful performers have graced the world-famous Apollo stage since Amateur Night began in 1934. Some have become musical icons. Performers like James Brown, Pigmeat Markham, Her, Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin, and the Jackson 5 have made their mark at the Apollo Theater.
Now imagine this. The first young lady to come out on the stage and win the contest and went on to become a legend was none other than Ella Fitzgerald, to showcase their talent. Because there's so much talent out there. And a lot of times these talented people don't get an opportunity to show the world what they have. That's where we come in.
A lot of really amazing artists were booed here, but that also speaks to the audience. But it also speaks to those artists that said, okay, I got booed at the Apollo. Let me go and get my game up. You know, let me go and continue to dig into my craft.
No audience is exactly alike. And every time we give them 130%, they give us 500% right back. It's a great show. And I love the energy.
Amateur Night dates back to the Apollo's opening. Each Wednesday, wannabe stars come to show what they got. First kids, then the adults, and the audience decides the winner.
First place winner with a 99, Mr. Michael Reed.
Since 1934, the performers of Amateur Night at the Apollo have also touched the Tree of Hope, a constant at the site. In the 1920s, the Tree of Hope was a big oak tree that sat on 133rd Street and 7th Avenue. Across from the tree was Lafayette Theater, where all the greats performed. Unemployed entertainers gathered around the tree performing, singing, and dancing in hopes of getting noticed or finding work. Superstitions of the tree giving off good luck grew. When the tree had to be cut down to fix a sidewalk, everyone wanted pieces of it to keep it as a good luck charm.
Well, Ralph Cooper, who created Amateur Night, he says, I'm not taking a piece off for good luck. Ralph decided to chop the entire stump of the tree off, and he brought it here to the Apollo Theater so that on Amateur Night, when the contestants were called to come out to perform, they can now rub it for good luck, hoping that the audience receives them well and they don't get booed off the stage.
People generally describe our audience as tough, but I won't say they're really tough. You know what? You get that if you have never been here. But the audience are very loving. They're waiting to love you. They're not waiting to hate you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 89th season of Amateur Night. And be your
Some people come here to see a show. Sometimes people come here to mourn when one of our greats have transitioned. This is one of the places where they come. When James Brown died, when Michael Jackson died, when Prince died, when Aretha died, everyone comes to the Apollo Theater. And also the Apollo Theater is the place that we come to convene and exchange ideas. Well, the Apollo Theater stays relevant because we listen to what's happening in the world. We're able to evolve and change. We just don't stay. The Apollo Theater is not a museum, it's a working theater. When you come into the lobby of the Apollo Theater, first thing that you'll see are the chandeliers. These beautiful chandeliers made out of Venetian crystal, imported from Italy. Then also you'll see on the left side of the lobby are these beautiful mirrors, you know, and the reflection from the mirror onto the chandeliers gives the lobby a pop that really, really is inviting, right? And then when you come into the lobby, to our right, you'll see our wall of legends. Smokey Robinson, The Miracles. Ooh, baby, baby. Oh man, Sam Cooke. I was born by the river. The incredible Nat King Cole. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. All these people formed the Apollo Theater. Sam and Dave. I'm a soul man. Dun, 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 dun. I'm a soul man. Dun, 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 dun.
You know, 125th Street is already a major thoroughfare, but the Apollo Theater is sitting here right in the middle of it. And so as far back as you can go, when you look at old black and white images and of the Apollo and people waiting around the corner in line to see their favorite people, we always have a foot in the past, a foot in the present, and we're looking towards the future. People come here and they're changed. You know, they're changed by what they see on that stage. They're inspired by what they see on the stage. And so I think that the Apollo continues to be that beacon of hope for people, whether they are, you know, here in Harlem or around the world. I just came back from Africa. People know the Apollo. I was in Toronto recently. People know the Apollo. And so the Apollo has, you know, really been this kind of central point for so many people, you know, that are really looking towards excellence. You know, and where do we find that? And you can find that here in the walls of the Apollo Theater.
Coming up.
Harlem is the Apollo, and the Apollo is Harlem. They're synonymous.
What I love about this place and why people come here is just to kind of check the pulse of what's going on, what's happening, and what's next. What I love about this place and why people come here is just to kind of check the pulse of what's going on, what's happening, and what's next.
Harlem is so many things, like entertainment, you know, just art and different cultures, families, you know. It's a new upcoming Harlem, but the old Harlem, you can still feel it.
Harlem is the Apollo, and the Apollo is Harlem. And Amateur Night is Harlem, and Amateur Night is the Apollo. They're synonymous. When you ask people in Japan about Amateur Night, they're talking about Harlem, and they're talking about the Apollo. When you find somebody in the Philippines and you ask them about the Apollo, they mean Amateur Night. They mean Harlem.
Apollo is definitely like the most important entity in Harlem because the Apollo brings everybody to Harlem. If anybody in Harlem don't know the Apollo, like they really honestly don't know anything about life.
This place has been here forever, and it's an epicenter for the community, and I think it's wonderful.
Apollo brought so many of our talents out, moving stars, music, comedy, all that. If we didn't have it, some of those people might not have been discovered today.
Apollo is exciting.
And historic.
And historic.
We are part of the important, iconic infrastructure of New York City. So if you think of a Broadway show, if you think of the Empire State Building, you also have to think Apollo Theater. And where is the Apollo? In Harlem. And where is Harlem? In New York City. We are just a part of the fabric of this beautiful city, this crazy city called New York.
Apollo is here. You know, Apollo is now. Apollo has always been, and Apollo is not going anywhere.
After former CEO Janelle Procope stepped down in June 2023, the new CEO, Michelle Ebanks, set expectations for what comes next for the future of Apollo Theater.
The Apollo Theater, for the first time since the 80s, we are going through a major expansion of our campus. And so the Victoria Theater, which is a few doors down from the Apollo, becomes our new home. The historical theater will still be here and we'll still be doing great programming on this stage, but now we have 2 additional stages that we're able to put work on.
The Victoria Theater will host a 199-seat theater and a 99-seat theater, which will offer a space where community initiatives, art collectives, and independent artists can come in.
This is just a really thrilling moment to be at the Apollo. So I think that, as we look at the next 5 to 7 years at the Apollo, you're going to be looking at a very different organization aesthetically in terms of how it looks. But what you can count on is that you'll still receive the same quality of art that is going to be on all the stages.
People come to the Apollo to perform for very different reasons. Sometimes we have neurosurgeons who have a bucket list that they're a doctor by day, but they sing, at night, and they want to come and give it a shot. And then we have the people that come in, they want a shot at stardom, they want a shot at fame. And we provide that opportunity for people to walk in that door and hopefully walk out and be a changed person.